Today I'm here to tell you why I trust DigiCure to maintain all my clinical records. DigiCure is a user-friendly software which has saved a lot of time, effort and paperwork for me and compiled all the information I need in one place. The best part of DigiCure is that it is an offline software where you can record, store and access your data without an active internet connection. On installing the software, the first tab that opens is that of Account and License, where you need to activate the license provided to you by the company via email. To do this, you will first have to download the files sent to your email ID through which you registered and then tap on Install License and add the downloaded file. When you do that, a pop-up will appear that shows the validity of your license, the date and the time when your license expires. The validity period of your license depends on the plan you choose. They vary from a period of 6 months and 12 months. Once your licensing is complete, as you can see, you will be auto-directed to a new tab called Clinic, where you will have to set up your clinic's folio. Here on this page, you will first enter your clinic's name, say for example, DigiCure Clinic. The next step, although optional, is to upload an image or logo of your clinic to make it look more professional. Once that is done, you have to enter your visiting hours. For example, the visiting hour for my clinic is from 10 AM to 1 PM in the morning and 2 PM to 5 PM in the evening. Below that, you have to enter the country, the state and the city that you are living in. Now you have to enter the zip code, address and the phone number. You can also add your alternate mobile number. If there is a landline, you can enter that. You can add your website and email as well. For example, the website for my clinic is www.digicure.co.in. If there is any additional information, you can add that in an instruction box. For example, if your clinic is closed on a particular day, you can add that. Upon pressing save, all of this information will be saved on this page. If you want to edit the information here later, you can do that simply by tapping on any section that needs editing and enter the new information and hit save. The next step is to add the details of the doctor and the staff that work at the clinic under the Doctor tab. You can add the details like the name, gender, title, date of birth, mobile number, city, address, registration number, designation, degree, and the specialty. You can also add a picture of the doctor. Once you tap save, a doctor or staff ID will automatically be generated and the registered basic details will be displayed on the top half of the page. The list of the registered doctors and the staff members is for the easy access of their details. Now if you tap or search any name on the list, it will show you the details of the person in question on the bottom half of the page. You can also directly search the doctor or staff ID number, which is very convenient and easy. Now that we are done with setting and adding the required details, let's take a look at the layout of DigiCure. It is very simple and easy to understand. Each tab has also been assigned a shortcut that you can memorize and use to switch between the tabs. For instance, the tab for patients uses the shortcut F1 and the tab for doctor uses F6 as its shortcut. I am currently on the doctor's tab and will be switching to the patient's tab. It's that simple. Now as we see, there are multiple tabs that we haven't checked out yet. Let's start with the patient's tab. It is very similar to the doctor's one. You can add details of the patient like the name, gender, title, date of birth, age, contact details, occupation, address and city. Upon adding these details in the doctor's tab, a file number unique to each patient is generated and added to the list displayed in the top half of the page. You can even search the patient's name or file number in the search bar on the top to find information for the patient. Once the patient's profile is generated, you will be automatically directed to the next tab, which is for treatment. Let's divide these details into two sections. In the first section, you will be adding the details of the patient that you need to know. Here you can see the patient's full name and the file number. You then need to select the doctor's name who will be treating the patient from the drop-down list of the registered doctors. After which you have the option to add the details of the patient, which include the weight, pulse, BP, temperature, RR that is the respiratory rate, RBS that is the random blood sugar level. And you also have a blank space to mention any allergy that they may have. Moving on to the next section, that is the in-depth detail of the current medical issues and the patient's medical history. You will have to type in the issue they have currently come to you for in the CO section. CO section, which is nothing but the complaint section. HO is the section where you need to mention any medical history that they may have had prior to the visit. This next section is where you mention the medicines that they were on either due to the prescription by the previous doctor or due to self-medication. Once that is done, we move on to the next section where you mention the investigation done. An investigation is nothing but the previously done tests of the patients that you need to keep a track of. When you tap on that section, you will see a pop-up that appears. In this pop-up, as you can see, blanks of category, subcategory, reading and remark appear. At the very end of it, you can see a plus mark. And when clicked, it shows you a drop down from which you can select which categories you want displayed in the dialog. You can simply tap to add or remove them. Let me demonstrate how the information in these blanks is to be added. In the blank for the category, I will add the name of the test that was done. For example, a blood test. In subcategory, I will add why the test was conducted. Say for instance, to know the count of the patient's CBCs. So I will type in the CBC. In the readings, I will add the test results and then add any remark that was mentioned in the test report or any personal remark. To add this to the list, we will tap the Add Investigation button and the information will be added to the list. Continue this process to add any other previous test to the list, and then once you're done, hit the Save button. To delete any of this information, just tap on the name on any investigation in the list and press Delete, and it will be deleted. The section of Advised Investigation is very similar to the investigation done. The only difference is that I'll have to add the test prescribed by me to my patient. Like we previously saw, a pop-up will appear again where I will have to fill the blanks of the category, subcategory and remarks. At the very end, you will see a plus mark, and when clicked, it will again show you a drop down from which you can add what you want displayed in the dialog. And just like before, you just have to tap to add or remove them. For instance, if I've asked the patient to get a blood test, I'll mention that in the category, and in the subcategory, I'll mention the reason, which is to know the protein levels of the patient. In the remarks section, you can add any necessary remark. Again, like the previous tab, you can keep adding the advice investigation and press Save to store the information. You can also delete this information by simply tapping on the listed name and pressing the Delete button. The procedure is self-explanatory. In the blank for procedure, you have to mention the procedure carried out for the patient's treatment. In the blank for dispensed medicine, you have to include the names of the medicine administered in the clinic to the patients. The following blank is of the prescriptions. Here, you'll be mentioning the medicines prescribed by you to the patient. Upon tapping on the blank, a dialog will pop up. Here, as you can see, you have a drop-down list to mention the type of prescription it is, whether it is tablets, capsule, syrup, drops, etc. Then you have a blank to mention the name of the prescription, its quantity, and the number of doses a patient has to take during the day. There's also a blank to add any remarks that you need. Once you're done adding these details, you have to press the Add Prescription button and the prescription will be added to the table. If there is any other prescription that you need to add to the list, you just have to follow the same procedure and hit Save. You also have the option to delete the prescription. You just have to select the name of the prescription and hit Delete. The next blank that we see is for any special diet that the patient might have to follow during their treatment. Here you can mention the details of the diet. The next blank is for you to add any overall remarks for the particular patient's treatment. You also have the option to add the date for the follow-up appointment for the patient at the bottom right corner. To add the date, you must simply tap on the calendar and choose the date or type in the date. Once you are done adding all the information, hit Save button and it will be recorded. Along with saving the prescription, you have to print the prescription, for which you just have to click the Print Prescription button and it will be ready to print. Next, you have the option to view the prescription if necessary. And to view the overall history of the patient when they visited you numerous times, you can simply tap the View History button and a dialog with all the information will pop up. On tapping on the Invoice button, a pop-up will appear. The first thing this pop-up will show you is any previous balance that patient has. The next blank is for the fee charge for the visitation. After that is a section for discount that the patient may be eligible for, or for you to deduct the amount from the leftover balance. Then the dialog shows you the total amount to be paid by the patient. Once the patient pays you the amount, you will enter the given amount in the paid blank. The balance will show up at the end. Once the transaction is completed, you have to press Save and the invoice will be saved. To print the invoice, you will tap the Print Bill button and a dialog will pop up. From there, you will tap on Print to get a printed copy of the invoice. The next tab you'll see is Expense and Reports. In this tab, you'll see 4 buttons that will allow you to add expenses and check the reports for the same. It also allows you to view invoice report and patient list. When you tap on the Add Expense button, the dialog that pops up lets you add details like the category of the expense, the number of units, price per unit, the total amount, its description, payment method, date, and the name of the person from whom the purchase was made. Next is the expense report that gives you the detail of the expenses made between the dates you put in. You can select between the option to either only view or save the report to the desired folder on your computer. You also have the option to show or hide certain details in the report by tapping on the name of the detail you want hidden in the drop-down list when you tap on the plus button. Similar to the expense report, the invoice report lets you save or view the invoices between the desired dates onto your computer. The patient list allows you to view the details of the patient that visited you. You simply need to enter the date of which you need the patient details. And similar to the other reports, you can save it or view it. And like the expense report, the invoice report and patient list also have the option to hide and show details by tapping the plus button. As I said in the beginning, this software is offline. So if you check the backup and restore tab, you can see that you have 4 options, 2 of which are to backup and 2 are to restore. To save your backup to the computer, you will have to first tap on browse and select the folder you want to save the backup file at, and then press start backup. The data will be saved at the location you selected. Once your backup is stored, a notification will pop up. To restore your data from this computer, you have to tap on browse under restore and select the file you want to restore the data from and press restore. Once the restoration is complete, you'll get a pop-up stating its completion. Although this is an offline software, it provides you the option to save and restore your data on cloud when your computer is connected to Wi-Fi, hotspot or internet. The last tab left is master data that contains the data of all the investigations, prescriptions, staffs and expenses made by you. Any data you enter in the software will automatically appear in the master data. You can also add this data directly into master data if you wish to. This will make it easier to select options from a drop-down list the next time you want to enter the same data. All this data entering may seem to be a tedious job, but the best part is you have to enter all this data only one time and make changes if and when needed. Thanks for being a part of this training program. We hope DigiCare makes your job easier.